Hey guys, so I'm going to go through yesterday's fourth workshop, which was on here. Okay, so it was on goal setting, self-contemplation, strategy and implementation, and then time allocation and time management. So the point of this one, guys, is basically getting you to think about what you're actually trying to achieve with your life, and also what are your priorities, and then bring it back to actually how you allocate your time. Okay, so I didn't film it because it was more like a workshop. Okay, it was more interactive. We had guys sharing some of their goals, and we had a lot of actual time where we got everyone just to sit and sort of do some mindfulness stuff for us, sort of just guided them through thinking the thoughts out clearly without distraction, which is how I want you guys to do this. I want you to actually make a bit of time, make an hour or so, sit there and go through this booklet. Okay, I'll add it up on the link or the email so you guys can actually go through it, because I do think it's worthwhile. But before I go through that, guys, I just made some notes that were on some points that were on the whiteboard. So I want you to do the goals in this order. Okay, the what, the why, the who, the how, and the when. Okay, and these must be controllable. These are the controllables and actionable. So, for example, we had an example yesterday where a person wanted to get a pay rise or get permanency with their job. Now, that's an outcome goal that she doesn't control. She doesn't choose for them to give her a permanent job, but she controls the actions that could lead to that pay rise or that will become permanent. So that's the whole point of it, guys. It's just getting really, really pragmatic. Okay. Another few points that I raise as far as myths when it comes to goals and time and all that kind of stuff. So myths. This one I've already spoken to some of you about, is that I don't have time. As you know, I think that's bullshit, because everyone has the same amount of time. It's how you spend that time. Okay, so as I've said to a couple of times now, with the challenges, it's not a matter of you don't have time to do the challenges. It's just that you didn't make them a priority. Okay, and even that language I much prefer. So if you say to me, look, I didn't make time this week, that's fine. That's on you. Okay, and I don't have a problem with that. Okay, you didn't feel the need and the value to do those challenges over whatever else you did. Okay, but then also challenge you to question, what did I do with my time, and was it actually worth not doing that stuff that's going to better myself? Okay, the other stuff is, I don't have time because I have kids. Now, again, I don't have kids, but being a PT for 9 years now, I've seen some people do some amazing things, and a lot of those people have kids. Okay, and so one thing that I do want to bring up is that always putting your kids first and putting yourself last doesn't actually help the kid often. More often, it's actually damaging, because the kid gets a sense of entitlement, and you run yourself ragged and don't make yourself happy. I like to encourage the opposite. Okay, make time for yourself, because you actually have a responsibility for you to be happy and content within yourself, so you can be more productive and be the best version of yourself. Okay, so for example, if you don't make time for you to exercise, if you know that you feel better when you exercise, and you don't make time to exercise because you've got to take the kids to training, well, you're shooting yourself in the foot, because you're going to be grumpy and you're going to treat the kid like shit as well, because you're tired and grumpy and you're not happy within yourself. Whereas if you make time for yourself and you're like, you get a big endorphin and you feel awesome, you're going to be a much better dad, mum, brother, sister, partner to those around you who love you. So basically what I'm saying is, you get this notion of you have a responsibility to make yourself happy so that you can be the best version of yourself for the people around you. Boom, mic drop moment. Right, the last one is, I don't know if you can see that there, is I can't stop drinking alcohol or eating shit food. Bullshit. You can. Okay, so again, I've seen it happen. It's just a matter of whether you associate your objectives as a higher priority to the actual action of drinking piss. Okay, so and that's what it comes down to when we go through the depths of this goal setting stuff, what your objectives are, what your priorities are. If your objectives are, so if your priorities and objectives are, whatever it is, losing weight or feeling more content with yourself or whatever it is, if you place that as a higher priority than being in the moment or drinking alcohol with your friends, then it's not even a choice. It's just a matter of doing it. If you place a higher priority on relationships with those people when you do drink, and it is something that you really want to do, then drink. Okay, That's your decision. It's a free world. Okay, I don't tell people not to drink because because it's like, no, don't drink. Mate, I love it. I love a beer, but I tell people not to drink if it's not conducive to their goals. Okay, it's just stupid, right? What's the definition of insanity? Okay, doing the same thing, hoping for a different result. If you're hoping to lose weight and to get fit and healthy and get your hormones right and get your adrenals happening again and all that sort of stuff, and alcohol does not fit in the actionable plan to get there, why do it? It doesn't make sense. So yes, I'm going to call you a putz if you do it. Sweet. Right, now we're going to get into the actual goal setting. So what I did yesterday, guys, and with this book, I want you to scroll through a couple of pages. And again, this is a bit confronting. Well, I hope it is go to, I think it's like page 4 or something, where it says, boom, you have 1 week to live. Okay, so the whole idea of that is, you probably all know when someone dies or when something really drastic happens in your life, it blows away all the stuff in your life that isn't actually, like, that blows away all the superficial stuff. It just leaves the raw bones of what is really important to you. So what I want you to do now is just visualize you've literally only got 1 week to live. All right, just take a second, put yourself in that moment, like, shit, this is happening, I've got 1 week to live. Now go through these questions. Firstly, what do you want to do? You got a week to live. What do you really love to do? Okay, and then who do you want to do it with? So who are the people that really matter? Like, who are the people that, all said and done, that you would want to spend your last week with? Okay, it's obviously not the person that you just met on the street and you think, oh, they're pretty funny. It's going to be the people who you have a really strong connection with, who you really love and adore, or respect and like, or just have fun with. Okay, what are you grateful for in your life? Okay, if you're pulling up stumps this week, if you get to the golden pearly gates, what are you going to be grateful that you got to do, or that you had? What experience that you had are you grateful for? Write them down. Okay, what would you regret not having done in your life? Okay, so is it something that you wish you'd done when you were younger, or is it something that you wish you'd traveled to, or for me, I've always wanted to learn an instrument or do a language. That's something, if I had to pull up stumps now, I'd probably regret. But is it a priority over doing my uni? No. Okay, so, but that's something that I would regret if I was done now. Okay, any other things that you would regret, put them in there. Okay, when I'm gone, how will people remember me? What will they remember me for, and what will be my legacy? So, you're checking out now. People are going to go, right, Paul Steele, that guy, boom, he was a fucking lunatic. Yeah, but what are the things that people are going to remember me for? And do that same thing for you guys. What are people going to go, oh yeah, she did this, or he did that, or I remember him because of this. Okay, so just pause the video now, go back, answer all those questions. Okay, get up to, so do those top 5 questions. And then when you get to 6, do all those questions, guys, because number 6 is consider those answers and what conclusions can you draw from those answers. Okay, what you may find, and this is what I found, is that I wouldn't actually change that much. Okay, I think I'm pretty much doing everything that I want to do at the moment. Not that I'm perfect, by God, am I not perfect, but I've done a lot of this stuff now, and it's really helped me be in a better place. And the reason why I'm in such a good place is because I'm doing this type of stuff. I've actually contemplate this stuff often, a lot. I reflect a lot on myself. Am I being a good person? Am I proud of myself? That type of things. And then what am I actually doing with my time? Okay, so do that, guys. And number 7 is you should be getting a pretty good picture now of what is important in your life. Therefore, you can sum up what makes you tick. Okay, what is your why? So try to come up with a statement. I do things, I get out of bed because of, boom, because I want to be the best version of myself for this, and this reason, or X, Y, and Z, from what experiences, all that kind of stuff. So, pause the video, go through those 7 questions. Sweet. Okay. Welcome back. Right, so the other thing I want you to do, guys, is the top 50 goals. Now, what happened yesterday is a few people, while we were waiting for other people, they did some of these. Then we just went back and did that exercise that you just did about if you only had a week to live. And then I went back and added to these, or went to the next page and started a new list, okay? Which is very interesting. If you actually started a new list and write different things down, maybe that you are giving too much credence to short-term influences, okay? So if you had some goals at the start that you were writing down, so, yes, I really want to achieve this, but then when everything was blown out of the water and you're going to die, okay, you had different objectives, okay? So take some time to do that as well, guys. So do the top 50 goals, more of a priority towards the next 5 years or even shorter term, but get those in, okay? So pause the video, take some time to do that, okay? Sweet. Next one. Now we're going to pick the top 5 priorities for your next 12 weeks, next 12 months, and next 5 years. Okay. Now, we discussed these yesterday at the end. So, using this model. Okay. What, why, who do you need to help you, how are you going to do it, and when by. So, again, everyone's probably heard I assume everyone's heard the SMART goals. It has to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and on a time. Okay, with a time lock. So, what is your goal? Okay, I want to get a promotion with my job. Okay, why? Because it'll give me security, it'll give me some identity, it'll give me some reassurance that I'm actually doing the right thing, I'm actually heading in the right direction with my career. It's what I want to get to, and then a lot of my life can build off around that security and that identity of having a full-time job. Who do I need help to get there? Who are my mentors? Who are the work colleagues who have been there and done it? That can help me get to where I need to get to. How? What are the things? What's my boss looking for? Okay, what's my role? What are my KPIs? What do I need to do to basically take the choice out of my boss's hands, where it's just a formality where they say, oh, by the way, you're full-time now. Okay, and when am I going to do it? So, again, you can't control when they make the decision, but you can control when you implement the actions of the how. Okay, so if you and your mentor decide that how you're going to do it is, you got some certain KPIs you need to hit. Okay, an easy one is for real estate agents is, how is I need to do 1,000 letterbox drops and make 500 cold phone calls each week. Okay, that's your when. So each little actionable task that you got to do to get to that outcome, put a time lock on it. Okay. Sweet. So do that for all those guys. I want that filled out, okay? Because it really will help. At least get the 12 weeks one, then the 12 months, then the 5 years. Sweet. Take some time, do that one. What's up, wife? Boom. Okay. Welcome back. Right, SWOT. So, I assume most people have heard of the SWOT analysis, so strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. So how I've done this one, guys, it's complete a SWOT analysis of how you've been going over the last 12 months. How have you been progressing to your objectives? Okay, stop, think about that. Now write down your strengths and weaknesses from the last 12 months, okay? Strengths are, I'm outgoing, I can talk to people, I do have drive, whatever. Weaknesses, I am messy as shit, okay? My time management tends to be poor because I get caught up in the moment, etc., etc. Opportunities, okay, so I'm outgoing, so maybe public speaking is a good thing that I can utilize in my business. So that's my other opportunities. Threats, okay, being messy is going to affect my productivity, and nobody got time for that. Okay, so that's the threats. So take some time to do that, guys. Get some solid things in there. Again, no one needs to see this, guys. This is for you. So just be fucking brutal. Like, be really honest with yourself. And that way you'll get the most out of this little experience. Sweet. Boom. The next one, hopefully you've gone and done that, is the action plan. So, hopefully from that, you've taken some time and you looked at yourself. You've considered what's really important, because you're going to cark it this week, and you've worked out where you need to improve by identifying your weaknesses, and you realise what the threats are from those weaknesses. You've also identified some positives that you may not be capitalising on enough, that you may need to do put some steps in place to get the most out of those. Now we're going to do some actions. Now these are important, guys, because they are going to become part of your challenges, obviously. So consider today's workshop. Okay, what are my top 5 action strategies that I'm going to take away with and implement? Can be more than 5, but they have to be actionable and reasonable, as they will become part of your upcoming challenges. Okay, so to give you some examples from doing this, I need to make more time again to have a bit more reflection time. I need to have some more time playing golf, and I want to get better at golf to help balance out uni and other stuff. Okay, so that's something that I'm going to action this week. I'm going to book in time to go have a golf lesson on Friday. Yeah, boom, lock them in. You like that guy, don't you, babe? Righto. Then we come to your week, which you've already done your time audit, hopefully. If you didn't, do it now. So from last week, so what I want you to do now is consider everything you've just gone through. So you did your initial time audit. How are you spending your time? Now look at that time audit and compare it, and just with consideration to your goals and objectives, and think, am I spending my time efficiently? Am I maximizing my time to be achieving the things that I want to achieve? Okay, if one of your goals is to build a really good relationship with your kid, with your son or your daughter, are you making the time to do that? And it is a quality time, or are you just sitting on the couch while the kid plays an iPad or something? Okay, how are you spending that time? So now create a new calendar for yourself, how you can maximize your time. Yeah, use your prioritize your first objectives first. Yeah, so my first objective is quality time with the boss and Marie, and second would be university. Okay, getting that done. Depending on which, probably need to switch that around, depending on when the assessment's due. But that's what I want you to do, guys. Prioritize everything. You do need to have balance. Yeah, so those objectives that you put in, they must cover all areas of your life. Okay. You know, I talked about at the start with the tripod of success. With when it comes to the PT progress, it needs to be nutrition, headspace, and the training component. If one's stronger than the other, it's imbalanced. Okay, same thing as with this stuff. Okay, good. Go do that. Now the last thing I'm going to do, guys, I just want to go to the back page. I actually will add this in as a component because I did forget to put in this booklet, but I definitely want to talk about it because it's extremely important, and that is your standard setters. Okay, so of the objectives that you've listed, or the things that you really want to achieve, who are the standard setters that you look to that are, influential for you? Okay, so, and they don't have to be just for those objectives, just in general, what are the traits that you look for and who epitomizes them? Now, I'll give you some examples. So, I've listed some of mine there. Okay, so integrity, my late dad, and my father-in-law, Mark. Okay, they're who I aspire to as far as integrity goes. Family and career, my brother-in-law, Mick. And the finances, Steve. Organisation, resilience is my sister. She is bloody organised. And there's some other ones there, guys. And obviously, everything else is Annie. I had to put that. But that's actually true. So, things like, Annie's empathy and the outlook on life and that sort of stuff, I really look to, and it really helps me keep centered and actually not a complete lunatic, an unproductive lunatic. Okay, she keeps me sane. So, consider all those things, guys. Get at least 5 down of the people that you look to who epitomise certain areas that you want to have as part of your character. Okay, again, what's your legacy? What do you want your legacy to be? Who epitomises and who can you emulate? Okay. Now, what I hope you get out of all this, guys, is what I don't want to see this week is people wasting time. Okay, so if you're watching TV and people just say, "Oh, wasting TV is a waste of time." So watching TV is a waste of time. Well, it's not a waste of time if you need it. Okay, if you need to have some quiet time where you're just chilling out and not thinking of watching TV, if that's what you need, that's fine. But even saying that, I find if I'm watching TV and I realize I don't really need to be doing just this, I'll try to do something productive while I'm there. So if I've got a trigger point ball, I'll trigger point my feet because I've got plantar fasciitis sometimes, or I'll stretch. Again, that just keeps me being productive, and I just hate wasting time. Okay. Again, though, That doesn't mean, but don't be afraid to, if you're in the moment, don't forget to be in the moment. Like if you're relaxing, relax, like really relax. Make the most of that time. Okay, good time management isn't just always doing fitness stuff or just isn't always working because that's your priority goal. You do need to have balanced time, but to make the most of that time, make sure it's quality. You know, I brought up the point yesterday, like even drinking alcohol. Some people, yeah, that's fun, yeah. But if you're in the moment more and you really just enjoy the experience of what drinking alcohol brings, you're going to be better off for it. You're not actually going to drink as much because you don't need to, because you're getting the same kicks out of having time with your mates or your friends or being at a concert or whatever it is. You can have, by being in the moment, you really get the most out of it, and not necessarily wake up feel like you've been hit by a truck. Okay, and then the rest of your day is shit because you're going to eat crap food, etc., etc. Okay, so yeah, so what are your objectives? How are you allocating your time is the crux of it. When it comes to what are your objectives, what is really important? Okay, just picture that you've literally got a week to live. Okay, we all know someone who's dropped dead fast, and it sucks. Okay, it could happen to any of us. But if that would happen to you, would you be reasonably content that you've given it a good crack? Okay, are you utilizing your time maximally for you and for what you want to do? Okay, that's conducive to your legacy and how you view yourself. Okay, another important question is, why are people friends with you? Like, actually think about why are people friends with you, because that can give you some good insight as well as to what makes you tick as well. Because why are people keeping you around? That gives you good insight into what your strengths are. Feel free to ask some people that and just let them talk, and the answer might surprise you, and then you might get to know about yourself. So a lot of this as well, guys, is about self-reflection, self-contemplation. Okay, are you being the person that you wanted to be, or that you want to be? Are you still progressing? Okay, are you utilizing your time, and are you heading towards your goals? Okay, now take some time with this, guys. I hope you get a lot out of it. I certainly have. A few people yesterday, the feedback was very positive. Make sure you actually share some of your goals with some people. Like, obviously your support network would be obvious. Yesterday everyone stood up and told their goals to the group. We announced that we're going to have a little baby next year, which was pretty cool to finally let that cat out of the bag. So Eddie's 11 weeks tomorrow. Hopefully it's a boy, but we'll be happy with healthy. Hence why this stuff, when it really comes, when stuff like that happens, it's a catalyst to really make sure you prioritize what's important in your life, yeah? So, yeah, that's our news. Go get productive and find out what you're doing with yourself. Boom.